welcome back to Paint with Nate. So we're here with the next part, and like the white, for the next part I've gone ahead and I've base coated in the red. Now for the red I've used Citadel Mephiston red, because you can usually get it on in one coat, which is what I've done here. So I can start off with an interesting bit, and we're going to start with some shading. So I'm going to shade with Reichland Flush Shade to kind of give us a nice warm red. Now, what I've painted is I've done her bandana, her scarf, and I've done her kind of corset. I was tempted to do a corset in a kind of a leather color, almost like armor, there being a battle dancer, but then I thought the kind of her midsection was missing a bit of color. When I did the base coat, the her scarf stood out too much on its own. So kind of not in a dramatic way, more in a clashing way. So by putting the corset same color, it's kind of brought it in, made it a bit more thematic. So I'm a lot happier with that now. So it's a quick wash. It's gonna be a quick step because there's not a lot in it. So we'll do this. I think tonight we'll do a little bit more. We'll get onto fans, I think. Yeah, because this isn't gonna take long at all. Right. So there we go. Now I'm just gonna stop the camera while that dries, and we'll be back for the next step. Right, now that our ink wash is nice and dry, let's start with some highlights. So I'm gonna start with very old Citadel Blood Red. Coat d'Arms do it as well. Exact same paint, and they call it Blood Red. And just like every other step, I start by targeting the raised areas, mostly going over where I've been. And this is gonna give us a lovely vibrant red. I know this already because it's the same red that I've used on the rest of my mice. So this is one of those times where I may have mentioned before that I keep a recipe book for different paints I use, different things I've tried, and especially if I'm painting units that want to be consistent, I'll write down my recipe. Now, there's two reasons why this is handy. Is one, I'll write down the stuff that works. I'll write down everything. But if I try something and it doesn't work, I make a note that it doesn't work. And that way, I can look back, and if I've forgotten that it doesn't work, I've got that to remind me that it doesn't work, and I'd save having to repaint things when they come out looking like garbage. So I would highly recommend that you just keep yourself a little notebook with your recipes in for different paints. Also, it's really handy when you come back if someone goes, "Hey, that's nice. Oh, I love that color. How did you do that?" You can kind of look back and say, "Oh, it's this." Because if you're anything like me, you'll probably forget otherwise. and you almost feel like that guy is trying to keep, or girl, that's trying to keep secrets. Like, oh, this is my mystery, my technique that I won't tell anyone. It's my own secret technique. Yeah, I'm not into that. If you want to know how I paint something, ask me. I'll tell you, as long as I remember. If not, I might have to go back and look in my book. But yeah, if I had to risk getting a bit political during a paint thing, I really dislike there's certain types of internet miniature painter who will not disclose how they do things. They'll refer to it as their username patented technique, and I'm just not about that at all. I think that's this elitist and jerk-like, and yeah, I've I've learned techniques because other people have shared their techniques with me, and I've gone away and I've practiced them, I've learned them. So if I've got a technique or if I've got a recipe which I use that you like and you go, oh, how do you do that? I'll tell you. Because one day, you might paint something that I think's amazing. And I'll come back and say, hey, how do you do that? And I'd appreciate if you extended the same courtesy and shared with me what you did. Because then the whole community can improve. And as the community improves, so we all improve. A high tide raises all ships, they say. So yeah, that's my my philosophy on the matter. Share the love. If you know how to do something, share it. Because at the end of the day, even if you're doing it, for a living or for extra money, you tell someone how you do something, you're still not doing it for them. They've still got to develop the skill to do it. So it's not like I don't think anyone's really taking bread out their mouths by sharing a technique. I mean, feel free to disagree. There's a comment section down below if you think I'm completely talking a bunch of hooky right now. Just yeah, let me know. And we have a nice calm internet debate because they always go really well. But genuinely, if you've got feelings on this matter yourself, let me know. I am happy to discuss this. I'm not talking about arguing. I mean, I genuinely will discuss this with people. Right. Anywho, back to painting. So there's our first coat done. Now it's looking pretty swish. Nice and vibrant. So now we're gonna get a red. We're gonna get a bit of orange. Just a blazing orange, nice and bright. A little bit of orange to that, just to stop it going pink when we add the white. Right, and as always, you guessed it, on a highlight like this, and add a bit of medium. Alright, now let's do some raised areas. See, the orange stops it just pinking up. Kind of making the red look washed out. A little bit of orange goes a long way to keeping the red nice and vibrant. So I'm not pink shaming. Just I don't want pink right now. I want vibrant red, nice warm color. So I want to keep it in the red rather than going to the pink. Right. Oops. We're alright. We're okay, folks. Oop. Somehow, I got away with that. Don't know how, but we did. Yay! I don't have to repaint half a model because I dropped it in a paintball lid. Right. So just a little bit of shaping there. So we've got a nice vibrant red going on there. I'm just gonna add a teeny bit more white and just do the very tips of things. So you'll notice by now that there's a bit of a theme going on with this model. And across the warband in general is the levels of highlighting and the style of painting, on ink and then layering highlight, which also keeps the model looking very consistent. Right, I am rather happy with that. So we'll have a quick break, we'll move on and we'll do those fans, hey? Yeah. Right, I'll be right back. Okie dokie. For our next step, we're gonna do the fans, and I'm gonna start with the metal bits of fan, and I'll go on to a decorative bit. Now, for this, there's lots of ways you could do it, but I'm gonna go for a silver. The reason I'm going for a silver is because this ties in a lot with a lot of the other parts of the warband, like the armor and whatnot. You could argue gold would look more ornate, but I'm going for silver because I want it to be a bit cooler so they actually do stand out a little bit more. So it'll be a silver and a cool white that these guys get, that these fans, guys, what? These fans get painted as. So I'm just doing a quick base coat. I'm using Citadel chainmail because it's a nice mid silver. It's getting nail biting now because I've been painting around a lot of finished detail. So I'm trying to be extra careful. Now, I don't know if I've said this before, but I find that metallics take longer to dry than you think, and that the best thing you can do is after you've base coated a metallic is to leave it for about half an hour before you do any sort of ink wash on it. Just because I find if you leave it the same length you would a regular acrylic, you'll get floaters. You'll get little flakes that come up with the up with the wash that you use, and you end up with a bit of a crappy finish. So I like to leave my metallics for about half an hour. Between base coat and wash, and that just that's just me. Your mileage may vary, and all power to you if you can get yours to dry faster. I can't. I choose not to. I'm not being timed on this, so I'm gonna just take it easy and let it dry properly and come back, and we'll just pick it up when it's dry. Through the wonders of editing, it'll seem instantaneous to you guys anyway. So there's that. Right. So there we go. There's the fans base coated. Well, except for the flappy bits of fans, I have literally no idea what the anatomy of a fan is. So I'm gonna say the ridgy bits and the flappy bits, and I'm sticking by it. So I'm gonna leave that for half an hour to dry, but for you guys it'll seem instantaneous. So okie dokie, that's had plenty of time to dry now. So let's get some ink on this silver. Now I'm going back to good old non-oil. I'm just gonna put this on. It brings the silver, or the chainmail I should say, because it is so well. That's the color. That doesn't want to go on. Yeah, it brings it in. It makes it dulls it down slightly so it doesn't look too garish. And it just helps enhance that detail. And this is all I'm gonna do with this particular bit. I'm not gonna re-highlight it because I don't think it's necessary a lot of time. If I found I was getting detail obscured, I might, but I'm not. So there, I'm just gonna leave that like that. I'll let that dry and I'll come back and do the flappy bits. Okay, see you soon. Okie dokie. Now that wash is dry, let's finish off the fans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these a cool white. So I'm going to start with some Astronomicon Grey, which is just a nice cool off-white. I mean cools in the kind of the warmth rather than, how popular it is among the youth. So just base coating this and making sure I keep all the brush strokes kind of in line with the way the folds of the fan would be, to keep the texture right. So I'm just going to cheat here for a second in that. Make sure I've got all the way to the edge there, and then I'm going to pull the paint out just to keep the texture. Because it's quite thick paint, so it does give a nice texture, but you do have to at the same time be a bit careful with it. So going for a nice cool white on this, so it contrasts nicely with the kind of warm colors of the blouse and the petticoats and the obviously the scarf. And just finish off up here. Right, so there's one done. I'm conscious this video is getting quite long, so I'm just gonna do the other one off screen and come back and we'll do some details, shall we? Okay. See. Right. That's done now. So let's add some detail on it. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some lines to the fans. Some just straight lines coming straight out. I'll try to keep them even space between the lines and the space in between. That was a lot harder to explain than it needed to be. Now, this will hopefully give us the impression that there's nice fine folds in the fan. Right, let's go this side, make sure I'm just keeping this. Right, so I'm just going to go back in. I'm going to neaten these up a bit because those ones are lovely. These ones are really, not so much. There we go. Let's get the thickness a bit more consistent. There we go. Same for the other side. Right. Just turn those up. This exact pattern. Because, as you know, when you fold one of these, it's that zigzag fold. So, I give the same impression with the fan. Cool. That's come out better than I was hoping. So, the other one. So, bit of advice for this, which may sound completely obvious, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I've got dead air to fill. Don't be afraid of taking your time when you're doing stuff like this, because things like the fans are gonna catch the eye. The model not the model, of the viewer, of the observer. So taking that a little bit more time now means that 6 months, a year down the line, you're gonna look and go, "Oh, I wish I took a bit longer than that." Because trust me, if you're anything like me, you will. So try to learn from mistakes that I've made in the past, and just take your time. There's no rush. We're talking what, 5 minutes more than one. It's not long in the grand scheme of things. So we're almost there with that. Right. Last one. Ugh, that's gone a little bit horrible. Right. I think we lined up a bit. Try to get those a bit straighter. Alright. So there we go. We've got some nice fans going on there. And you know what? I was going to do some freehand on there, but I think that's about nailed it. You can leave a comment below if you disagree, but I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the claws. Right, so our last step is going to be the claws, and for that I'm going to use Vallejo Model Color German Camouflage Beige, which is old GW Commando khaki. So I need a little dab of that, because with claws these little, I'm not gonna go in highlighting. I'm just gonna use the ink wash I did on the fur to be my outline for the claws, to give them a nice bit of definition. So there we go. Can't see her other foot. So it's just her hands. There we go. Right. So that's Rosalee all done, except for some static grass and some clump foliage, just to tie her in with the rest. I hope you've enjoyed watching me paint Rosalie. I've certainly enjoyed painting her. Like I said, please go and check out Oathsworn Miniatures if you like what you see. It's a fantastic miniature line. There's a lot of great minis on there. And they're super nice people. I've had the pleasure of meeting them a few times at conventions, and honestly, you will not find a nicer pair than Michael and Joe of Oathsworn. So please check them out. If you've enjoyed this, give us a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. Anything you want to say, leave us a comment down below. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. I've been Nate. This has been Paint. And bye bye.